Callie. We'll call the meeting in order. Callie, if you'll take roll call.
Peter Boyer, Mayor.
Present.
Tyler Martin, Council.
Present.
Tim Ficken, excused.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to tell you that. Yeah, he's sick.
Dan Sabrowski, Council.
Present.
Joy Shane, Council.
Present.
If everyone rise for the pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have one more veteran, right? 8 veterans in here.
Yep. All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of March 3rd, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'd entertain a motion to approve the payables list for March 17th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Entertain a motion to approve the financial reports, balance sheet, detailed income statement, and trial balance for the period ending February 2026.
Yeah, that was a typo.
So moved.
All good. Moved.
Second.
Second.
Go ahead, Joy.
We'll give it to Joy, I guess. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Entertain a motion to approve or for the third and final reading of ordinance 2026-01 and ordinance adopting the 2024 International Residential Code.
So moved.
Second.
That's Joy. Dan and Joy.
Not even committed.
No. I
Motion.
heard it.
Motion and second, excuse me. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Holzer?
Mayor and Council, you have my report. I think I covered everything for this evening. If there's any questions, I'll entertain them.
I don't think so. I think we're good. I don't have anything unless council members do.
Good.
I see Hyde's going this way, not this way, so.
I see the animal control on here. We don't plan to change our, Metro asked me, are we planning on changing any of our commitment with them?
Meeting with them Monday.
Well, there you go. Marvelous.
You have a meeting with Metro?
So just to talk about, because they were asking if the PD would it make a difference. I said, well, don't know once you tell me. So
I just saw this in here and figured I'd ask.
Well, if we entered into that agreement, it would change it, but
Yeah.
it was we
we were actually going to discuss it during the police, but we can discuss it now if you want. Tyler,
Oh, I see.
it's in
I
the,
got
it's in the PD report.
We're good. We're good.
and again, discussion. Metro checks to go look and take up these aspects. How does that change our agreement?
it would change it completely with Metro.
Yeah. The question is, are they willing to make the change? They do an all or nothing. And at that point, if it's an all or nothing, then they want to pursue the other options.
Right. Okay, cool. Okay, well, nothing else for Pat? Ray?
Mr. Mayor, my report's pretty simple this week. Still waiting to hear back from the contractor on whether they got their panels constructed. They were concerned late last week when I talked to them that the manufacturer wasn't going to be able to get them built by their March 23rd window. And if that was the case, then that was going to kick them into April before they would get it repaired. We did find out, I got a call from Dustin this morning that the second panel that was starting to fail has completely failed now with the second big windstorm that we had last week. So we've already have plans to replace that one. So that was fortuitous, I guess. That's
Thanks for removing it for us.
right. Took a minor problem and turned it into a major problem, but we had planned to replace it. So we're waiting. Reached out to them today. I haven't heard back after talking to them last week. So I will keep you up to date as to when they think they'll get into town to do that work.
I would like to get this done. I mean, I guess, I guess I want this on record, I guess, is what I'm saying is, but obviously I want this done as soon as possible before this turns from a $50,000 repair into a $200,000 repair, because it just continues ripping panels off the top of that thing. So urgency,
Yes.
urgency.
And I think that all the contractors understand that. It's just, they're at the mercy of them. There's one manufacturer that makes these aluminum panels, and so they're all at the mercy of this manufacturer.
Is it worth the time, and is there anything we can do in the meantime to keep more damage from being done? Other than like stapling like a shield up or something.
So I had a conversation with local contractors about trying to get up there and just putting a sheet of plywood or something in there to cover the hole, and I just determined it wasn't practical to do that. I mean, because you'd need a pretty calm day. You'd need to figure out how to rig stuff up so that you could get giant triangular sheets of plywood that are like sails up on top of the tank. And there's not a really great answer on this one. I mean, there's literally the tarp option that we kind of joked about, but I mean, that is, as far as somebody being able to take something up onto the top of the tank and be able to secure it on the tank, there's not a lot of good options out there.
Okay.
So, but when I do talk with Northern Steel, I believe is the name, I'll make sure they understand that this is
Yeah, this isn't just like a tank repair or this is, we're trying to keep this from getting worse and worse and worse to the point where we're expending hundreds of thousands of dollars, which at that point, I think we'd probably just have to pull the plug and start the process of, okay, now we're replacing the roof.
Right.
Because I think if we lose a couple of more panels, it's going to be
The
pointless.
triangular panels,
They are.
what's the width at the widest part?
I can find that out and get back to you. I don't know off the top of my
Does
head.
it go to 0 or down to like 2 or 3
It
feet?
goes down to 0. And so I would be guessing, but I would say 6 to 7 feet at the widest part.
Oh, at the base?
Yeah.
What's the length?
And I would be guessing again, my guess would probably be somewhere in the 8 to 9 feet. But I have that information and I will find it and get back to you.
I have an idea for you. I don't know if it's practical, but I'll look at it first before I
Sounds good.
let you know.
And then other than that, just been helping Dustin try to solve the plugging lift station pump issue down on the Sunset lift station. So we're looking at replacement pumps that can pass larger solids and can deal with rags and mop heads and things like that a little more effectively. And then the potential of adding the Muffin Monster that we had talked about
Right.
before, some sort of a pre-grinder pump. And that's really the majority of my work.
Cool. Any questions for Ray? Okay, moving on. Steve, you have the floor, sir.
So you have my report, a few things to update. We just mentioned I have a meeting with Metro on Monday based on the potential access having a PD. Apparently that's a trigger point for Metro, same with every other area. We do have some other options possibly with Evansville, maybe. We've been in talks with them. So we'll see what Metro says about it, if they're willing to work with us or not. And that may be a short term, let's do that, see how it goes. I'll let you know how that meeting goes Monday. We just set it up to late today or late yesterday, I think.
And when was that meeting? When was it?
It'll be Monday.
Monday, okay.
At the PD office.
Okay.
Again, under the administrative part, you see the list there. We're hitting that point where, expenditures are coming. The third car will arrive end of this month, 1st of April, which is a very quick turnaround. And then I understand that there's a unofficial Bar None community Facebook page that's got a lot of contentious information or misinformation on it. I'd like to ask to have another meet and greet, for lack of a better term, on March 31st.
Sure.
Invite those folks out so they can get actual factual information. And I'd probably like to make that a quarterly thing. I've talked to Sonny about doing a public safety quarterly community. Let's come and talk so we can keep folks informed about safety overall, not just the law enforcement aspect. So we'll continue to do that. But I'd like to ask to do that the 31st here at Town Hall, which there's no town hall meeting. And do that at 6:30 so we can start putting the notice out to get folks to come out. And because the vehicles are marked, got patches going on uniforms. I got the okay from the sheriff's department to start shadowing them as soon as we get the radios, which I'm hoping we get in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Which means I'll be able to hear the calls, go work with them, and start to ease in the community understanding that there'll be different folks showing up. So they get used to what we look like and we can start that relationship
Right on.
and build it with the sheriff's department. I'll basically be their backup. We'll take whatever calls they ask us to take, but they will still be primary through the radio issues and dispatch, not going live until July 1.
Okay.
Excellent.
Do you feel that's an adequate amount of time to make that full transition?
Yes, sir. You've got on there, we've got to sit down at some point, go through policy, has to be approved. It is based on the sheriff's department. I've made some adjustments for the town needs. There are things we have to figure out how to do because we're not the sheriff's department. We don't have that level of administrative support. But we've got to figure that process out because the council has to approve it. I'm sure Pat would like to approve it, make sure he's okay with it. I have it all done. I'm simply now going through and putting it in the order and color coding it, like I said, and then filling in the gaps that are not there just to shore us up so we don't get bothered by the federal government, the things that they would like to see in policy.
Okay.
I just want to keep them off our backs as best we can, and it increases our odds of getting federal grant funding. If I say, hey, we're not accredited, but we're utilizing those standards
Right.
to address the things you say to address. So
Okay.
on there is the radios. That's probably the next thing in order. It's a fairly big ask
Right.
when you look at that. Cameras, when you look at it, there's a 5-year agreement. It's like $8,000 a year, which is very competitive. Because those things update so fast, it's not worth buying your own because it'll be outdated by then. So at the end of 5 years, the equipment's all replaced and you sit down for a new agreement. LensLock is who Evansville's using. They're very receptive. They're easy to work with. So that's why we're looking at them as well.
Okay.
Do we need to approve the radios?
Yeah.
And the body worn cameras.
And the body worn camera.
Because we're looking,
So those are,
testing those.
we,
May 1st.
this is coming out of the, we set aside the earmark for this a couple of years back, for the startup. And this is coming out of that. So the way it'll work, just for general informational purposes, we've been planning on this for quite a few years now. This discussion began before I was mayor. So it's been at least 4 years. And we put the money aside for this about 2 years ago, roughly. Don't quote me on that because my memory is not the best. One too many heat strokes out in Fort Irwin, apparently. So we set aside the money for that. And so this is part of the startup cost. Then what we'll do is as we go along, so that we don't have to incur such a huge cost again, as we do this with like the fire department, we do this with the maintenance department, is that we space things out and we take a certain amount out of the budget every year and set that aside so that we have it planned for whenever that expense comes up. Does that make sense? Did I explain that well? So anyway, we're basically, so that it's not like, this year we're going to be, this is a startup cost, but it'll be like $5,000 every year for like 8 years. And then we'll replace our radios again. And then repeat that process until Steve's retired, I'm gone, and we're all dirt. So that's basically how we we do it as a town and how it functions, just for general information.
Radios and cameras will be actually, most of what's on this list will be our first dip into startups because we managed to work within the current year budget for a good bit of stuff.
Right.
Try and make sure we can have some money put aside for the unforeseen things.
Yep. So, all right.
The last thing I would like to ask also that we get the okay to start up our Barnum PD Facebook page. Start putting out information now, since we have a marked unit. Uniform is going to start showing up as an information source.
Okay.
And also to start populating the tab on the website that's there, but doesn't have anything in. I'd like the okay to go ahead and populate that so that there's actually information there.
Yes. Absolutely. Does that cover you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the purchase of Motorola radios for $42,417.57. Is that exact? Like, we don't need to go above?
You got it all there. That's everything there.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to, hold on, I gotta get the name of the, is it Lens Lock? Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the purchase of body worn cameras through the company Lens Lock for a total of $40,121.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Steve. It's becoming more official, man.
Great.
We're getting there.
That vehicle looks incredible.
Yeah.
You've given me a heart attack twice in the,
That's going on next week.
Oh, gosh. I know. That's,
oh yeah, I wasn't even speeding. I about pooped my pants. I just like looked up and I was like, what is this car? So it looks great though. It's terrifying. Yeah.
that's his job.
That's great.
Any questions for Steve? No? All right. Next up on the chopping block.
Yeah.
Sonny.
Mayor, council, you guys have my written report. The only thing I have to add is Brush 11-2 was demobilized this evening from the Road 203 fire in Nebraska. They will be traveling back home tomorrow.
That was short-lived.
Yeah, they have not been reassigned as of yet because there's no resource orders. We'll see what happens overnight to see if fires actually come up with more resource orders. Mills reached out to me today. They have a surge engine in South Dakota. It was only supposed to be there till the 22nd. They've extended their assignment till the 28th. Their engine boss needs to be back, so I am going to be loaning them Dave Potter to go to South Dakota and finish up their rotation with their engine as an engine boss. Other than that, if you have any questions, be happy to answer them.
I saw in your email, and it's annotated here, that you had finished your
Did it again. Thank you. Sorry.
you touch nothing in the Russian space station. All right. Any questions for Sonny? No? All right. Dustin, hit me, man.
Mayor, council, you have my written report. I don't really have anything significant to add. Ray covered the issue with the Coleman tank roof. We went up there today and opened the hatch and went inside, and you can see both of those panels they're shredded. So anyway, but other than that, I'll entertain any questions on the written report. I'm glad to hear Justin's returning. We're missing.
So the sewer lift station one, I know that we were having the discussion that we need to start looking at replacing the entire system, right?
Well, that's, I definitely wanted to bring it to your attention because that, according to the plans I was able to obtain from Ray and CPI, that vault was designed in 1988, and so it's nearing 40 years. All the bypass, it's built where if your pumps fail, we can drop a hydraulically driven sewer pump down in the wet well. It's driven off hydraulics on a tractor, and it'll pump the sewage up and out of the well. And the way this is designed, back down into a vault. There's a vault right next to the wet well that's underground, goes down 8 feet. There's piping and valves down there where you can shut off the exit from the pumps and open another valve, and your auxiliary emergency pump can pump into the pressure main. But going down in that vault, that's 40-year-old vault, and it's sketchy to say the least. So rusty valves, leaking, there's a sump pump down there all the time, the dangers of H2S gas, and
This is something that we can plan for.
yes, sir, right. At this point, it's working,
Okay.
but it's near the end of its useful life. And so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I would hope we could consider, there are modules, and I don't know the pricing, Ray would know the pricing, something similar to the lift station on Nez Perce. All that whole bypass pumping design, the valves, the pipes, they're all above ground where we can get to them. It's an easy, short little 10-foot hose to bypass if our pumps fail. And nobody's in danger. There's no danger of flooding the vault with sewage if there's a failure and all that stuff. So one of those newer fiberglass design ones. But I'm just talking in generalities.
Right, no, I got you, man.
I'm not talking any specifics. So I just wanted to make you aware of the fact that lift station, that's the oldest one, and it's
Starting to show its age.
done its job. It's pumped a lot of gallons of sewage over its 40-year life. So
Ray, any idea? I mean, obviously it'll have to come out of budget when we do budget. Any idea how much that's?
500,000.
yeah.
Grants?
And there may be other options.
Grants?
Not really.
Nobody likes sewage? They
No.
like water, they like roads, they like water towers, they like fire trucks, they like, what else do they like? They don't like sewage, huh? The most important one of all?
Yeah.
And when the toilet backs up, then everybody takes notice.
Okay.
And this could be a first time for our newsletter, but she could put in there, stop flushing the flushable wipes.
Already did that.
Ah.
I did that last.
I just, for the record, I just want to say there is no such thing as a flushable wipe.
No.
That is a false advertising on
Yes.
the marketers that are trying to sell it. They plug up the pumps. They don't dissolve. So.
Okay. Well, Ray and Dustin, whenever we start getting into budget, which will be very soon, be part of our, other than roads, this will be our big other topic, unless there's, something else too that we need to talk about. So roads and sewage.
Just so you're aware, you have 3 lift stations that are the same age now. This lift station here was built at the same time as Bar None and Bar None number 1 and Bar None number 2, which are down in the Wardwell area.
So one in Bar None, or how many?
On Sunset that was the Bar None lift station. Then they called the other 2 Bar None 1 and Bar None 2.
Gotcha.
It's not confusing.
So potentially 3 at 500 apiece.
Correct. Not potentially, definitely.
Oh.
But
They all need to be replaced?
no,
Okay.
I think
Just this one.
it's a good idea to start planning for replacement, but I think that you're a long way away from actually needing to replace any of them.
Okay. All right. Cool.
We only have the one under our jurisdiction.
Oh, no.
You got all 3.
Don't you own the
We own the one
off
again
the
at Sunset.
201?
We don't, we own the one off Nez Perce, the one off Sunset, and then the one we inherited from Wardwell down in South Loop next to CMI Tico.
So the 201 takes care of Bar None 1 and 2?
The ones along Salt Creek Highway there.
Yeah, the ones that are back like in the neighbor, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have the discussion offline.
Yeah.
Let's go move onwards and upwards. Any questions for Dustin?
Mm-mm.
No? No? All right, Dustin, you're off the hook, man. All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Open it up for petitions and public comment. The time is now yours as the general public to voice your concerns, comments, your grievances, your adoration, your whatever it may be. It is.
It's got this one, right? That's the
Right.
And it pumps. After here, there is there is.
My name is Jason Nobles. I'm actually a process server with day and night process serving.
Yeah.
Everything after that.
I've been given a summons and complaint to serve one of your council members, with a specific set of instructions by the attorney to do so here. So that is the reason for my presence. If I may approach or give this to your chief for Dan Sproski, council member Dan
I
Sproski.
believe that.
Which attorney instructed you to serve it in an open council meeting?
We do.
Um,
I don't know anything about it.
well, White and Still PC fix law, and then there's two different law offices.
Which attorneys? It'll be on there.
I just told you, sir.
You told me the firms, you didn't tell me the attorneys.
Okay, I'm sorry. John C. Matthews, Morgan S. Nance, William R. Fix. There's three different attorneys listed.
And they instructed you to do it in a public meeting?
This is the place they gave me to do so. Yes, sir.
Did they instruct you to do it in a public meeting?
Yes, sir. They told me to be here at 7 and come here. You guys said it was open for public comment or grievances. I'm not a part of this, ma'am.
I understand. You're just doing your job and what?
This is kind of an odd circumstance. I mean, I guess, do we have to allow this by law? I don't even know. I've never been down this path before.
Can I see what you're trying to serve? So you're trying to serve a civil action that has, that is not against the city? Do I understand it correctly? Well, you wouldn't know. You're just a server.
I won't take any more of your time. I'm going to go ahead and consider that.
No, you're not. I'm not accepting service. Hang on a second.
Hands right there.
I know.
We're in a public forum, so I think we're good.
Wasn't handed to me.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay right there.
And,
Dan.
okay,
That was sleazy.
that's probably the lowest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen some pretty low stuff. I've been to Iraq twice. So
Well, let me explain what it is.
I'm pretty sure I know who and what it
And I'll
is.
tell you who it is. It's Reed Rasner. And it is low and dirty and underhanded.
Yeah.
And believe me, there'll be more of it from him. So
So any other actual petitions or public comment that pertain to the town of Bar None? Going once, going twice, sold to the highest bidder. I'll allow it, but you were like, I mean, like that was a knife edge right there.
All right, I was just waiting. The only thing is, as you're aware, Kelly changed our email address and got us out of the preparedness business and into the emergency operations.
Yes, yes.
We okay if I go ahead and publish a Facebook page?
That one right there.
I don't have an issue with that. Does council have any?
I or somebody in this town will be the only ones that can post to it. It seems much like Kelly has the town of Barn.
Right.
No comments, no,
Just information.
just information. That's
Right.
all it will be.
I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with you starting that up.
Okay,
So, perfect.
sounds great.
Probably could have just called me on that one. But anyway, that's fine.
So I just happen to be here. I also got my, I have completed all the stuff. I am now a Natrona County certified volunteer and will soon be finishing up my comms.
Perfect.
piece of that.
Excellent.
So
Fantastic. Thank you, Ken.
The one on this first, that's.
Any other petitions for public comment? Going once, going twice, sold, too late, Mike, too late. I could see you contemplating. I could literally see it, just those gears were working. All right, thank you, everyone. Moving on to council business. Gene, sir, you have the floor. Thank you for waiting. It was 28 minutes. I hope it wasn't too bad. We try to keep it somewhat entertaining here.
Do I have about 8 minutes-ish? For how long? I don't know if I'm on a 3-minute shot clock.
No, you're good. You said about 8 minutes is how long it'll take?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad at all.
Happy to answer any questions following. Good afternoon, good evening. I'm Gene Galkey. I'm a senior project manager for NextEra. I'm the project manager for the Dino Solar project just west of town. And I cover the state of Wyoming as far as development goes. I'll be walking you guys through a brief slideshow presentation. It gives you kind of a roll-up of who is NextEra, and then updates we have with the project, understanding that we requested an updated amendment for the Dino Solar project at the state level, and that precedes us going through the amendment side for the county as well, which would be later on this year. All right, so NextEra, real quick, American owned and operated. We have investment throughout 41 plus states. Only update we have for here is that we also have the state of Utah. We have a battery project that went into operations end of last year. We do all the above development, including natural gas development. We do nuclear development. In the state of Wyoming, though, we've done a large amount of renewable development. We have 25 plus years of this, of working also as an IPP. And then part of NextEra, we have a regulated as well as an unregulated utility that is ran as well. Kind of things that I wanted to highlight, though, is NextEra's operations and investment in the state of Wyoming. We have invested just shy of $2 billion inside of the state, and we own and operate 6 of these 7 projects that are listed here. So we operate 3 of the 4 Cedar Springs projects, most of those being in Commerce County. We own and operate Roundhouse 1 and 2, which is in Laramie County, just west of Cheyenne. And then, as y'all are familiar, the Anacline Wind Project, just north of town. We own and operate that, providing 5 jobs here to the local community as well, and folks living inside of Casper. We're additionally working as far as towards development of projects throughout Wyoming, one of those being Dino Solar, located just west of town. So moving on to that, this is what you'll end up seeing for the project boundary. And so we've requested an amendment for the state level permit. So the state level permit as it stands right now was granted in March of 2023, which has one of the conditions for it is a start of construction by March of 2026, being this month. So what we're requesting is a increase in the duration of when that would be. So it would be a start of construction of March of 2029. And then the second portion of that amendment is that we would reduce the total size of the project from 440 megawatts of solar and storage to 240 megawatts of solar and storage. Understanding that's reduction in the size of the project, but overall what you'll see is the project boundary itself hasn't changed from the original. Let me step back actually for a minute. So Dino Solar, when it went through the state level permit, was done as 2 phases. Dino Solar, 240 megawatts solar and storage with this exact boundary. And then Dino Solar phase 2, which was an additional 199 megawatts, which included a boundary kind of primarily there around the south and southwest area. This is the original phase 1 boundary. And so this is what we're working through on the amendment for. Kind of 3 talking points for this, understanding concerns or headaches around this. 1, the growth boundary for Barna. Number 2, being the West Winds Road expansion as it cuts through, as you can see where that would be cut off just south of where that north arrow is. There's an east-west running road, and then up where that Rinker factory is, extending from there to the southwest would be where that West Winds Road would run. And then part 3 being battery safety side. I have some slides as well that'll cover what does the battery layout look like, how is it oriented, as well as safety procedures, protocols, and things like that we cover as well. So one of the things, understanding already there has been a deposit put down for vehicles related to this, and with us delaying what the start of construction is, that delays the impact assistance payments and delays as far as like when those dollars would flow through to Barna. We're working at a company level to help towards like the Barna Fire Department and other local entities, understanding that there are primarily three agencies, being Mills, Natrona County Fire, and Barna, that are all impacted by this exact situation. I have the total amounts, and we're talking through this as a company to understand like what services we can provide and then how much can we offset, and that's kind of it so far. We don't have the full solution of that developed yet, but we'll get it there. We do, so talking back to the growth boundary, the growth boundary was updated in 2016. This project went through the county level permit in 2020. So with that, the growth boundary already existed, and we're working towards on the eastern side, as you're looking, there's kind of a keyhole cut out just west of where the bar none words are, towards a potential amendment towards like a development exclusion for that area to not affect the expansion of bar none, specifically on the northern and northwestern components of that. And then the last part is related to impact assistance funds. So understanding impact assistance funds determined by the state level for 2023, there was a dollar amount, and the total amount that was allocated across all the different entities that were impacted is like $5.7 million. That was of, don't quote me, it's somewhere around $14 million total taxes paid, but 5.7 of that was allocated, right? So just under a third, or just over a third. Even though we're decreasing the size of the project, that project is still dedicated to provide $9.28 million, and understanding that that's the total like top of where that would stop. And then the amount from the impact assistance, understanding that there would be an increase based on like the cost of goods going up or expenses of fire trucks going up, there's still a buffer in there. So that if we have an increase in the cost of fire trucks or firefighting bulldozers, whatever that may be, there's an ability to request, but that's done through the state level side. That's not necessarily done through the NextEra side. Understand that's a lot of information to kind of flow out. Any questions there before I move on to some of the battery safety stuff?
Questions? No? Okay. I've already talked to you quite a bit, so I'm kind of already versed on most of this, so I think you can probably continue on.
Sounds good. So next, this is what I want to show is kind of just an understanding of what the battery yard is going to look like. I know there's concerns around whether or not kind of like fire risk, things like that. It'll be on a gravel padded area. So what you're seeing, it's kind of oriented from, I guess, our side northwest to southeast. Those white rectangle boxes, as you think of it as like a 20-foot shipping container. At the end of those are going to be the inverters. And then located down on the bottom right is going to be the substation, or the collector substation in this. The only difference that you're going to see from here is that you would have solar panels and then the dedicated BESS yard or battery storage yard, and then the collector substation, which is the way it was originally permitted as well. And then the safety features is the thing I want to highlight, right? Specifically, as bar none is oriented to the east as a primarily western wind area, is that there are safety features being advanced thermal management systems with optimal temperatures. So it is designed for the cold colds, the hot hots, as well as safety systems that we have for fire detection and automatic shutdown. And we have the ability to control this, jump down one slide, through two different operations, one being on-site control center. So we would have what we call O&M, operations and maintenance building, located here, where the folks that are working, the 5 full-time folks that would work at the Dyno Solar project, work from primarily during the day. Those are the folks doing the maintenance on any batteries, maintenance on solar panels, anything like that, as well as monitoring. They would have real-time sensors associated with it. And you can see on the left-hand side kind of a list of things that they have the ability to control. So there's the internal systems, which have control. There's the operations and maintenance building that's co-located with the project. And then part 3 of it is we have what's called the ROC, the Renewable Operations Center. And that is manned 24/7, 365 days at a category 5 rated building where they manage the entire fleet. That's where, like, think of it as higher level troubleshooting, maintenance type of issues that you might have. That's where the folks from that are going to provide insight, heavily trained. Obviously, the O&M guys also heavily trained, but that's where that kind of deeper level troubleshooting occurs. But they have the ability to remotely control all those operation systems, batteries, everything like that as well. And then one last thing that I did want to highlight is these are all the NFPA codes that we cover, right? NFPA 855, UL 1973, as well as UL 9540. There's smart battery monitoring, the ability to have the remote safety capability, as well as the 24/7 monitoring side of it. And then as well, one of the things that we are putting on, so in early November, we did a battery safety luncheon to cover Dyno Solar, and then 2 other projects in either this county or neighboring counties that have batteries associated with them. And then we're working on putting together a battery safety specific training for the firefighters by a gentleman that we have that works with us, who has a 20-year fire career and was a battalion chief beforehand. So understanding that when you're looking at these, as you're looking at a battery container, this isn't something you go physically into. And so we are working through as far as what is the finalization of inspections and things like that look like with the building inspector, but I'll talk with you after that, or after this, in order to go through any questions you have. But the big thing I kind of just wanted to bring up is Tuesday, so a week from today, we're going through the industrial siting permit at the state level to just request these 2 primary updates, which is the decrease from 440 to 240 megawatts of solar and storage, as well as the increase of the timeline. And let me explain why, actually. The 440 to 240 decrease, part of that has to do with an increase in the actual cost of building the projects. The second part was when we got back the interconnection study, it made that additional 199 megawatts of that project not commercially viable to build and sell. Very, very expensive. And then as far as the component for the delay in timeframe, part of that has to do with the commercial traction of things. Just part of it has to do with the procurement of the energy from these projects. Has been a little bit delayed, but we're still working on developing, hence the firefighter training we did in early November, hence me being here. Anyway, open to any questions? Sorry, I'm over probably a couple minutes, but
We're going to hold that against you.
yeah. Sorry, man, between us and against us, but anyway.
I don't really have any questions. You said that you guys are looking at possibly, so that piece that juts out, right? I guess I could look at this right up here. This piece right here, is this what you're looking at possibly maybe?
Correct. Okay. Yeah, so we have right now some panels that are in that eastern half, like solar panels. And so we're looking at pushing some of those into that kind of more central boundary.
Okay.
Side of it. But it may not be that entire cutout. And so what I would like to do is actually kind of understand what are the priority areas for Bar-None's expansion, to understand if we had to cut that in half with a east-west running line, what the prioritization of those 2 areas would be.
Dan, when you were doing developing, you were looking at going right here, weren't you?
Yep.
Okay, so right now currently we have 2 areas where we're looking, 3 areas where we're looking at. Like this area still is kind of a hot spot. Actually, basically you could look from here all the way down to here. Right now are areas that are looking at expanding. We're currently in talks with one person that may develop. That depends on how motivated they are, obviously. But so those 2 areas right there are basically pushing west mainly. So from basically I don't know, that's not a dog leg. What do you call that? Basically from the top of that triangle right there up to basically the northern boundary of Bart, or the northern, not boundary, but the northernmost houses. And that whole western section right there is basically right where that is. So where you got that jutted out piece is where. And so are we going to expand a half mile within the next? I have no idea, actually. I have no idea how much we're going to expand. But that's primarily the concern, is because when you put the solar panels in, they're going to be there for 30 years. So whether we were or weren't, it now is we are not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, understood.
So I think that's probably one of the bigger ones. I don't know. Do you gentlemen and a lady have anything else? but
You may want to make an inquiry just because I believe you have the information about the road that would extend
Oh, yeah.
West Winds.
Yes, sorry, we have a development exclusion. This is the total project boundary that we have, but we have already built in a development exclusion that has a cutout for where the West Winds Road is, at least from the most recent data that we have.
Because it's been contemplated at some points in time that it would extend over to the airport, and you've taken that into account.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I guess I have a question. I don't want to sound abrasive. So if the project is basically cut in half and this is the original layout, why do you need so much acreage still if it's not gonna be this big?
Sorry, this is the phase one of the original.
Oh, phase one,
Yeah, so
okay.
phase two included to the west, to the south a little bit. So that dashed line that goes down to the southeast, as well as a little bit to the east there. Primarily that expansion area was down on the southern side. This is the continuation of phase one, which is now just the Dyno Solar project.
Yeah. I wanted the same thing.
cool. Any other questions for Gene? Gene, do you have a card so that we can call you and harass you if we need to?
Of course.
Perfect.
Happy to leave it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Gene. All right. If nothing else, we will move on. Dan, do you have the floor, sir?
Yeah, I guess the major concern, if people have been paying attention to the news, of course, we're in a drought and the possibilities of, there's been talk of possible water restrictions in the future. Regional water's been, of course, discussing it, weighing out our
Kind of like a little darker.
our water rights situation. And anyway, so it gets complicated, but the nuts and bolts of it today, the simplistic form was, if there's going to be restrictions, it'll happen before the end of May. The restrictions would be on the major water users like irrigation districts, stuff like that. They don't foresee restriction on citizens of any of the communities. So with you guys, there's a number of memos that back and forth between state engineer's office, regional water, HDR, who is the engineering firm out of Cheyenne that handles our water rights stuff. So that's in that little packet that I put out, that you'll see those memos. You can kind of read through those, and it kind of goes back and forth through our situation. It gives acre feet calculations of the different reservoirs and stuff like that. So the state engineer's office is on top of it pretty thoroughly. And so I think, like I say, the gist of it is, I don't think we're going to have severe restrictions on our personal use. So.
Cool. Hopefully we got some rain.
We need rain, yeah, or snowpack.
Snowpack or rain. So, cool. Any questions for Dan? No? All right. Police department discussion real quick. Steve and I were having the discussion. We're kind of at the point of no return at this juncture that we have arrived to. And we need to start looking at making him the full-time, not interim, but full-time police chief. So I don't know if that needs to be a resolution, written resolution, Pat, if we can.
We should do a written resolution.
Okay, so probably have that ready, so we need to discuss it. So I'm not gonna dictate what we should do. We're kind of at that point. So this is basically our no going back.
Well, and again, in all fairness, if I could, Mr. Mayor, there are three options. And I think everybody needs to be made aware of that.
Yeah.
Either I'm not the guy, and we put it out, or, hey, he's doing okay, but we want to see what else is out there, so you advertise it and make it competitive. Or the third option is, so far things seem to be moving, he seems to be competent, we can keep him pretty much like Casper just did with their interim It's not unheard of. It's actually fairly common. But I want it out there that there are 3 options.
Yeah.
So that, you know,
Thank you for reminding me of that.
I don't want,
That, well, I meant to bring it up, but that was,
I want it to be.
I already made my decision, so.
So there is that, and that was part of the agreement when I came in, whatever, I'm fine with whatever. I don't have a problem continuing to earn this, but
So that's kind of at the point where we're at though, just so council is aware that where we go from here now, we need to basically, it's with a full-time chief so that we has the full capability to start shadowing the sheriff's department. Yes, thank you. The sheriff's department, he has the authority to act on the behalf of the town. He has all of the rights and authority of a full-time police chief. So whether it's Steve or whether we choose to go another path or whatever, we need to make that decision, have that discussion, and we need to start moving forward on it. Basically, we have arrived at the new world, and maybe this isn't the best. I'm not going to use that analogy. That's a terrible analogy. We have arrived at a juncture now where we have to make a final decision.
well, and the goal is May 1st as we start advertising for our part-time officers, which means you probably want to start that process of determining who's going to be part of that final decision. That's why the discussion came up. May 1st is the goal to advertise.
Yeah.
Start date would be last week of June. So they could do the in-house and go live July 1 when we go live. That would be the ideal.
Okay. Thoughts?
I feel like I'm too new to make a decision. I haven't been here from the beginning to see all the stuff that he's done, but so far, everything that I've seen, I feel like you're competent to step into this role.
Yes, people's opinions on whether or not, there's some dissenting opinions and things, and some of that is our decision of what we've made for the police department. But contrary to what you may see on social media, you've done a phenomenal job. You've executed every task that the mayor and council have given you. You've done it well with great stewardship. You've worked diligently. You've been a joy to work with, and I'm looking forward to it. So, I'm also love the transparency. You immediately formed a community involvement board. You're doing meet and greets. I just really respect and appreciate your work ethic and how you've done. And so I'm good.
Right on.
Yeah, of any of the council members, and maybe Peter had a change of heart too at some point, but living out here 20 years, I never liked the idea of having a police force out here. And I, even as coming onto this board, I thought, well, I'm just going to be the lonely no vote until I met Steve. And part of my concerns of police departments is the philosophy of community policing. And I met a gentleman here in law enforcement that understands that type of policing. And it's almost rare in today's society. We've gone to a complete law enforcement type mentality of policing, which ends up ultimately becoming an us versus them type deal. And we have a divide amongst the community and the policing. Steve is of the old school way of idea of policing and looking out for the citizens and the safety of the citizens and not the coffers of the town or the municipality, where we've gotten into policing for profit in some communities. This is not the philosophy he subscribes to. I think the community, as they get to know Steve and start having those interactions, are going to be very impressed with his style of policing. And I am hoping that this culture of policing that we get into bar none becomes a leader in getting back to that type of policing. And so I'm all on board with Steve, and I appreciate the work he's done and look forward to seeing it unfold. So thank you, Steve.
I'm of the same mind. I don't have a vote on this, but I'm of the same mind. Steve's done an excellent job, and it's been a pleasure to work with him. So continuing on this path seems like the logical course to me. I've watched as the town we've had to grow, we've had to adapt to things and before Radiant, people used to trust my judgment. They used to trust the things that I said. They used to trust my competency in my office. They used to trust me, my character. And all of that has been torn down by Radiant, though I'm still trying to figure out what I did wrong. And, we could have that discussion all day long about Radiant and how it's whatever. It just really turned the corner for me, I think, I think it was last year. And there's a young lady that her family goes to church with us, and she's 14. She was 14 at the time. She was almost kidnapped out of Antelope Park by a predator, a pedophile. And that really that kind of shook me up. And it's got me really looking at it seriously. Like, we're not as safe out here as we think we are. And that's just the truth. And we just have to realize that reality and then take cautious steps to make sure that this town stays the way that we perceive it, instead of catching it 10 years down the road and being like, what happened to our town? And if I got to take flack for that, and if people are going to hate me because I'm trying to do the right thing and I want to protect my town, and because I care more about doing what's right than political favor or political points or what's popular, fine. I'll do it. I don't care. That's a hill I'm willing to die on. So, all right, I think we made our decision. That was easy. Pat, I need a resolution next council meeting, please, sir.
All right.
All right, let's move on to a less serious topic. Fireworks, baby. Talk to me, Sonny.
It's serious.
It is serious, actually.
I thought we all had a meeting Tuesday.
We did.
And when I left that meeting, I'm like, great, this is going to go. We'll all do it on the 4th of July. We'll separate. And then I leave for class. And everything seemed to unravel while I was gone. So could you please tell me where we're at?
Currently where we're at is Casper wants to do, they still want to stagger theirs, but Mills and us are going to coordinate and shoot ours off at the same time.
Okay.
We're still trying to convince Casper to get on board with us, though, because it's going to be amazing.
And I understand.
I know.
I love it.
I know.
But I have concerns.
I know.
Okay.
I do too.
And they're huge concerns.
I have concerns if our fireworks are big enough.
That's why I originally asked for us to do it the day before, right? And like, I understand it's a big deal this year, and I really do. My biggest problem with the whole thing is having the coverage needed in case we break a fire. Here's my thing. Commercial fireworks shows are not a big deal. They go off without a hitch 99% of the time.
Right.
The problem is the people that like to have their own shows in this town, which I was witness to last year.
Yes.
Yes, Dan, your house was one of them. Anyway, so that's my biggest concern. Do I have enough available personnel and resources to take care of the commercial shoot that we're going to do, as well as protect the rest of the town? By staggering our shoots, it was going to give us time to move additional resources to other places.
Right.
So we had proper coverage. Because I don't know where we're going to be sitting in July. Like, I don't know who's going to have resources available. When you look at long-range weather forecast and fuel modeling, this summer is going to be off the hook. I don't know what resources we're going to have available in this county in July.
Are you talking still staggering days or just time period?
Times.
Okay.
So that's what we talked about Tuesday when we actually met with the Casper City Mayor. Leah was on there. Peter was on there.
We met with county too this time. So Dave North was there, and though he stayed silent most of the time, which he usually does. So there was more people there this time. And yeah, I get your concerns, man. And so it's not like, here's the thing about it, okay? It's not set in stone.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we're planning on, and we may have to adjust fire as we go along. Casper wants to have this set in stone now, and I'm like, okay, that's not reasonable, but let's have that conversation anyway. Maybe you guys can go do your thing, and Mills and Bar None will do their thing, because I don't feel like they're being conducive to a actual discussion.
Yeah.
Because it's let's just be honest, they're Casper, they've got more residents, and they kind of just push everybody else around. That's on public record. Anyway, they'll get over it. Ray Pacheco and I can have a conversation about it.
And I am honest about that too. You know, like I said, my biggest thing is I don't know where we're going to be. And it's going to be my job to determine if that shoot happens that night. And I'm sorry, but there's trigger points. If we have winds above like 10 miles an hour on the ground, 15 miles an hour on the ground, we're not shooting. If our fuel moistures are like 90% possibility of ignition, we're not shooting. Like, there's just things that we have to do. We're all in the same boat. Mills is going to be in the same boat. Casper's going to be in the same boat. Like, we're all going to have to make decisions the day of the shoot, whether or not we're going to shoot that night. And unfortunately, yes, we're spending money on this. We may have to do it another day. And it comes to that, right? My thing is if we do have available resources, I want to make sure that we stagger the shoots so we can move resources between shoots. That's what I would love to see.
So I get all that, and that's, Leah and I are pretty set on shooting off at the same time. So I talked to Dave North about this. we talked to Casper, and Dave says that because he's been in fire, so I trust your opinion, I trust his opinion, and he says that they do believe that they can cover Casper, that it'll be okay. I mean, we've done it before. So it's not something that's new.
Yeah.
They've never in the history, and I asked this question because I wanted to know, Casper's done a fireworks show 25 years running. It may be more than that, and they've never canceled one.
Yeah.
Not because of wind, not because of anything. They've never canceled one. So I get the cautiousness. I understand it 100%. What I don't want to do is I want to be somewhere in the middle where we're saying we're going to take all the precautions, we're going to do it safely, but we're also going to blow crap up. Okay?
And I get that, and I'm good with that.
So-
And like I said,
so
if it's Mills and us shooting at the same time, that's better than Casper or like all three of us shooting at the same time.
Right.
Because they're going to have a lot of resources on that side.
Right.
And so my big thing is if they shoot first, shoot last, I don't care, but as long as we have some additional resources that we can move into our area, that's what I would love to see, because
I think we'll be okay, because I think
I'm not concerned about the commercial shoot that we're going to do. I'm concerned about the amount of fireworks that goes off in this town at night.
we are patriotic, all right? We love America.
I agree.
But that's why we're trying to do the whole thing down to Antelope Park.
And I get it.
Right? So I think we'll be okay. So that's where we're at right now currently, so everyone's aware. That's the plan.
Okay, one more question.
We moved positions of fireworks shoot. I thought that.
No. Fireworks shoots go in the same place. It's Mills and Bar None are planning on doing theirs simultaneously. We're going to coordinate.
What were you saying about Antelope
Yeah, you
Park?
said Antelope Park.
Oh, no, that's for everybody to go shoot.
Like, if people want
like
For all the residents that want to go
want
blow
to
crap
get them
up
out
on
of the
their own time
subdivision.
and their own dime.
and into an area where they can actually shoot stuff and hopefully not burn something down.
Got it.
Well,
That's,
Or shoot out an RV window.
I think part of it too is lots of notice. I'll be doing that part, and we'll just make those decisions as to what we do to have that presence to help them get to where they need to be, because that'll also be new for the town. Somebody designated here while July 4th is going on, looking for that to say, hey, do me a favor, move to the park.
Yes.
That could add a layer. And I don't know that we'll have more than me at that point, but if we do, those are added layers that hopefully can help with that concern, because
Yeah. and like I said, the whole, like, we discussed opening up the park last year, so that way people could have a safer place to shoot instead of in the middle of the subdivision and stuff. And just, it kind of came up and then we weren't there.
We're ready yet.
I'm ready to do and move on that this year. Like, that's not an issue. But I want people to know, like, if you're gonna shoot off fireworks, let's move you into a place that's less populated, less houses, and that way, hopefully, we can protect the town if something does happen.
That's something definitely we can help with.
Yeah.
And you'll have somebody to, for lack of a better term, corral folks to where they need to go.
Yeah.
Which we really didn't have before. So that will be part of the discussion.
Yep.
We'll figure out what you need the PD to do and how you want it to be. But
Mr. Hume,
Is Evansville doing a fireworks show?
not as far as I know.
They are not.
Okay, because the way I understand it, Natrona County Fire is going to close that
They're
station.
not closing Station 13.
They're not.
No.
Okay, they figured out a way around it?
Yes, so
Okay.
that'll, I mean, Station 13 will remain open. They're going to keep it open. They're going to reduce staffing at the station. So instead of running 3 people on the engine, they're only going to be running 2. But they're going to keep the station open.
Okay.
So
And if they're not doing fireworks,
Yeah. Please, Mike.
So what we're talking about here at Antelope Park is letting Joe Civilian come in and have a place to detonate his fireworks. They're gonna have to sign waivers or something. And I only say that because is town liable for promoting this, and Joe Blow comes in and blows off half his hand because he doesn't detonate his fireworks correctly? Is the town held liable for that accident?
I will defer that to council.
I think Glen Rock makes you sign a waiver. Maybe
Yeah,
theirs.
so people who participate should sign a waiver. Does that 100% insulate us from somebody filing an action? No, but I mean, people should sign a waiver.
That's why you guys can be covered legally.
I understand. I appreciate that.
I mean, I'm not against it. I could care less. But you might, some 5-year-old blows off his hand because dad was, drinking.
The thing is, we're a litigious society, so the opposite could be said if we don't do it, and we can't enforce all the fireworks going off and a house gets burned down, we could get sued just as easy for not enforcing strong enough. There's a lot of what ifs in the world.
you set up the area, you're gonna wanna formalize it more, because we can talk about the disaster that Glendale had 2 years ago. They formalized it last year and it was great. So it's gotta be more than just show up at the park and go bananas. You're gonna have to really work on them.
Yeah.
Where are they launching it from? Where are they parking? Who's doing it? In what order? All that stuff has to be set, or you'll see bottle rocket fights and it's nuts. I mean, because
I won't say I didn't do that as a youth, but I mean,
well, so Glendale had theirs the first year when they said, hey.
I have all my fingers, toes, and eyes.
One guy impaled with a homemade bottle rocket, then another guy blew fingers off. It was a mess. The
Wow.
first year. They formalized it the second year. I can probably reach out and go, so what did you do the next year? And they didn't have any incidents, but the first year they did it, it was, let's meet at the.
Sonny,
Well,
let's not do that.
I totally agree with you on that one.
like Glen Rock has it locked down to actually say like how many people can go light a firework at one time. You have to be behind so many feet and
And age limits.
We've
Yeah.
got to find a happy medium there, though.
I agree.
Because if you restrict it too much, everybody will just stay home and shoot the fireworks, so that it's pointless. So there's got to be a happy medium there where it's open enough to where people are going to want to come down there and do it. It's boundaries enough to where we don't blow off.
And I'll tell you, you're dealing with the 4th of July. That's the day everybody really, the mentality of freedom really comes out. And the reason why the fireworks shows got so big on a personal level, if everybody remembers, Casper shut down the fireworks show that first year of COVID, and it irritated everybody. And that night was some of the biggest personal fireworks shows. They've actually dwindled each year, but that's where it began, was getting too restrictive and shutting down shows. I think if we get back to a bit of a controlled environment, I think people are going to come out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you'll take that And I speak from that mentality. I mean, my shows have dwindled. That show we had the night they canceled was huge. We had multiple sheriffs at my house and we continued to go. The last sheriff said, impressive show. Are you guys done for the night? And left. But it's a delicate situation because what are you going to do? Go arrest a bunch of people, put them in jail the night of the supposedly celebrating our biggest achievement in freedom. So
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my biggest thing is the safety aspect of everything, right? And that's what I need to look at. And like last year, complete was off the hook. Like I stopped and talked to people that were shooting them off. Not a big deal. Like, hey, just be safe. Like, let's move it away from the house a little bit further. Because people literally were shooting them off right in front of their garage with their garage door open. Like,
Yeah, man.
I don't know, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I want people to be safe in the same token. And like I said, I don't personally care if people shoot off fireworks. I just want them to be safe when they do it and not in the subdivision and not highly populated areas. Let's move it out of that area and do that. And let's be.
I think it's going to be interesting to see with these sanctioned and controlled shows, we're going to still see personal fireworks.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think you're going to see a curbed appetite as long as these shows are going on.
Yeah.
Did we get to 8-inch?
Oh, yeah. Hey, 8-inch. Did we go to 8-inch shells?
Glenn has not gotten back to me yet. I will look out for him to get in tomorrow.
Tell Glenn he's about to get
Make it
fired.
happen, Cap.
Huh?
Let's make it happen, Cap. All right. I think we beat the fireworks horse.
No, we have one more thing.
All right. No, we have. Revive that sucker.
I brought up at the last meeting that I had spoken with Mr. McMurray.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And like his biggest concern is the liability aspect if we let people park or sit on his property. So where are we at with that? Are we able to lease his property for a day?
Pat, how would we work that?
Well, that would really be up to Mr. McMurray in terms of how he would want his private property
We could be like,
dealt with.
we could own like 1,000 acres for a day.
No, it'll be just that one section.
Oh, shoot.
Salt Creek and Tonkawa. It'll be just that one section. He said he would lease it to the town for $1, but that way the town would have to put liability insurance on it.
Would that work? Is that?
It would really require event insurance, which is a separate type of insurance, but the town could get event insurance.
Okay.
And so I know the town has a mower, but I think I can also get some stuff donated as well that we can actually mow down that lot before we shoot as well.
Then sorry, finish. I'll be quiet. I'm just excited.
I know. I was pretty much done. I just want to see like where we're at. Like I would like certain things set in stone moving forward. So that way I don't have to worry about them moving forward, right?
Okay.
So that's my thing. Like if we can get that done, that's what I'd like to see.
Pat, can you work with Chief and Mr. McMurray? Let's see if we can lease that land for the day for $1. And then let's get some event insurance for that day.
Go ahead and get a quote on event insurance.
Thank you, sir. And let's get that squared away. Okay, is the horse dead? Are we good?
Good for now.
You need anything else? You call me if you need anything, Sonny.
Okay, I will.
All right. All right. I want to finish off one quick thing. It's growing late in the hour. This summons that we received, I do want to speak to that for just a second. Can you tell if that was from Reed Rasner or not?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Completely uncalled for. I don't know if he delivered to other council meetings. I don't know if this is the only one. I can't even imagine what he's thinking. The optics on that are awful. And it's just untoward and foolish. I don't know why he would do that. And it's interrupting a council meeting with something that is of a personal nature between apparently him and Dan. And breaking into town business to do something that he wants to make a public display of, like, so just, I guess, remember that if you ever have to vote for him.
He's got my vote.
So,
Thanks for your support, Sonny.
yeah, right. With that being said, does anyone have anything else? Nope, nope. All right, I would entertain a motion to adjourn and enter executive session. Huh?
Easter.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Holy crap.
Easter egg hunt is on Saturday, March 28th at 10:30 a.m. at Antelope Park.
Oh, I put it at Town Hall newsletter because that's where it was last year. So Antelope Park or New Park Town Hall?
Let's,
We could just adjust fire and make it here.
yeah, well, that, we had it here because the park was closed last year.
Yeah.
Might be in line.
Okay, we'll update. We'll update and have we will have plenty of promo as to where it will be. So I have a town hall meeting
time
with
is that
town
at?
hall tomorrow to determine details for this.
10:30?
10:30. And if all goes well, we'll have some popcorn and bounce houses afterwards.
I may need someone to cover down for me for that, but I should be there, just in case.
We have you slated for the bunny costume, so.
Tank.
Yeah.
Dunk tank? Do we do a dunk?
Taser.
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 I thought we were doing that for
Both.
Both. You're gonna get tased. You're gonna get tased a lot this year.
It's a fundraiser. Tase the mayor. Wait, so do I do the dunk tank and the taser? Because
Same time, in the water, we will tase you.
He's in the water.
In the water, doesn't take.
All right, I would entertain a motion to adjourn and enter executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Goodness.
Call the meeting in order. Kelly, if you'll take roll call.
Peter Boyer, Mayor.
Present.
Tyler Martin, Council.
Present.
Finn Ficken, excused. Dan Sabrowski, Council.
Present.
Joy Shane, Council.
Present.
Wait, we don't need your eyes for the pledge. All right, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So,
Oh, no action taken during the from executive. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved. Second.
Oof. Motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, everyone.